Greetings and gratitude. How are you doing and how are you feeling? If you are new here, my name is Nuna. I am the seer, the witch, the oracle, the poet, the writer, the wise woman sage, all these titles of the Saiyonan archives. Welcome to your new spiritual safe haven. And if you're returning or if you are returning, hey family, welcome back. I'm super excited, elated, and I'm just honored to have you here in my presence, and I'm also honored to be in your presence as well. I wanted to take a quick moment to pull a few cards with y'all because we have this Lionsgate portal that is happening tomorrow, and I wanted to just kind of give a quick reading or a check-in to see what encouraging or empowering messages can we gain from this Lionsgate portal, but also from the the Aquarius Full Moon that's happening the next day. I already pulled the charts and I already kind of looked at it, and I can definitely tell that there's going to be a lot of revolutionary things that are happening in our lives as we move and progress forward and whatnot. I know that for those of you who have a Taurus rising, this full moon is hitting your 10th house, so there's going to be a lot of drastic changes as it pertains to your public image, as it pertains to your legacy, and anything regarding dealing with work, career, your public reputation, your public standing, and things like that. Things that you are permanently building. I know that we're going through lots of turning points and lots of breaking points in human history, of course, but also it's this cyclical pattern that's been going on with humanity, and I feel like we're at the brink of something extremely huge, extremely major, and it's happening on the microscopic level of our own lives as well as on a macroscopic level as it pertains to the whole universe. There was something that I wanted to kind of talk to you guys about because I know that there's going to be a major hype when it comes to the Lionsgate portal. At least if you've been looking at your feed on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or whatever, more than likely you've been seeing a lot of people talk about the Lionsgate portal. I'm not going to go too deep into the symbolism. I'm really only going to be focusing on pulling cards, and I'll make sure to have these cards linked down in the description box. I'm going to be using the Pre-Raphaelite Tarot as well as two Lenormand decks smashed together in this black pouch here. So essentially the Lionsgate portal is where the star Sirius rises within the constellation of Leo, and it's basically made visible after the yearly cycle of the sun passing through. And to make it a bit more simple, essentially it's where the cosmic alignment occurs between the sun, the earth, and the star Sirius during that Lionsgate portal. Now when you think about what a portal is an entryway where things can go in and things can leave, right? A portal is like this, I like to call it a gateway where energy can manifest and where an energy can leave. It can enter or it can exit through this portal. Now the interesting thing is that I do feel that because the Lionsgate portal is obviously happening during this time of Leo season, this definitely is directly impacted by, or this is definitely returning to the heart space, the middle way, the heart center, right? That heart point. Your heart is a portal in which information can flow through, where you feel it the most, where you feel it in your heart. You obviously, like I said, you feel it in your heart, but it's where you feel it the most intense at times, because this has everything to do with who you are, your bravery, your courage, your inner light, and how you use love to shine through the shadow aspect of yourself, humanity, and whatever else. So I do feel like the word is coming through as authenticity, but also transparency. Those are words that are obviously coming through now, because when you think about Leo is very proud of itself. It's proud of what it loves. It's proud of everything that it does. It's the solar light, the solar energy, where everything is just focused on it. So there's a major focus on your heart space and what brings you joy, what brings you love, and what brings you the most fulfillment. And I also feel like with that does come this form of grievance, because when you start to really honor what you feel, when you start to really honor yourself, when you really start to honor the things that bring you joy, that's when you'll start to see that there are some things that you believed once brought you joy, or that you were attached to, they start to kind of fall away. And so this is one of those things where you have to stand up for yourself and say, even though I am afraid, I'm going to allow myself to open up, to flower, and to just be, and allow everything else to fall away. I know that we say these things a lot, and I know that we hear these things a lot, but how many people actually truly walk in that truth? How many people actually pace the path of remembrance and intentionally let these things go the more that they remember? What I want you guys to remember and to understand is that we are all on a path of remembrance, because everything that we do, sometimes, or more oftentimes, we do it because of memory. Things that happened to us before, right? Obviously, these are things that happen, and so we remember these things. Now, the choice that you have to make is are you going to allow yourself to be moved by these memories to a point where it destroys you, where your actions betray you? Or do you allow yourself to do things differently because of what you remember? Also, I do feel like there's a lot of uploads, a lot of downloads that are happening with our collective, and the reason is because, again, we are on the path of remembrance. When you remember things that you have no idea about in this life, like, for example, some people, they just instinctually know something, but it feels familiar. That's how you know that it's remembrance. And with this landscape portal, is you are remembering the love that you are remembering your courage, you are remembering your strength, you are remembering who you are outside of the noise, outside of the trauma, outside of the programming, outside of the indoctrination, and you're returning back to your heart space, and you're allowing that to exude. You're allowing yourself to pour out your inner truth. You're allowing yourself to align with that inner truth, because that is what can help you set yourself free, but also your soul tribe. And that's what Spirit was wanting you to understand right now, is that you're in a cycle where you are breaking free of any limitation. But not even just that, this is where you start to stand up, because when you do that, you allow humanity to see what it looks like when it shines unapologetically. This is you allowing yourself to roar, not needlessly, but you're allowing yourself to roar your truth. But this roar that I'm hearing is so graceful, and the energy of this essence, like the energy of it, is not forceful. It just is what it is. You are learning or remembering, right? You are remembering what it means to be, and by you following what brings you joy. Because more than likely, if you're here on this channel, then you know that what brings you joy is in alignment with the well-being of the planet, and it's also it's also in alignment with the well-being of humanity. Thinking about Aquarius, Aquarius is traditionally ruled by Saturn. It is now ruled by Uranus. So this brings a very revolutionary aspect to it, but it also says, I'm going to shock this, or the presence that I bring, the presence that I have, it shocks everything out, but it also knocks it back into alignment. Think about if you've ever seen Avatar: The Last Airbender. Remember when Aang fought Azula, if I'm not mistaken, and she ended up like shocking him, and then he ended up having like that, it knocked his chakras out of alignment. Remember that? And then remember when he ended up fighting the Phoenix King at that point, towards the end of the series, he fought the Phoenix King, or he dueled with him and whatnot, and he ended up being thrown against or slammed against like that rock thing, and then it knocked his chakras back into alignment. This was after he went to go see the guru, where he needed to learn detachment. So the reason why I'm bringing this up is because when you think about that series, if you think about like what happened during that time, things happen in your life where it knocks you out of alignment, and then something happens where it shocks you back into place. But when you do become in alignment, you start to see and you realize that everything that has happened in your life was not necessarily meant to happen to you. It was meant to help you along your path somehow, if you allow yourself to see it that way. And no matter which way you would have turned, you would have ended up in this exact predicament, meaning not to disempower you, but to say that you would have ended up here. But it's always an opportunity for you to do better. It's always an opportunity for you to gain. It is always an opportunity for you to thrive, for you to evolve, for you to enjoy. No matter what has happened, life has shocked you out of place, but there's this quickening. It's like you start to see it, you feel it, right? You start to feel it, you start to see it, and then next thing you know, you start to become it. You just are it, because it just happens, right? It's almost kind of like that one thing happens where you're talking to a family member, right? Let's just say you're having a conversation with a family member, and they say something, and the old you would have been so pissed off about it. You would have been pissed, you would have been mad, angry. It would have shocked you, because you yourself couldn't believe that came out of their mouth, right? But the interesting thing is that at that moment, instead of you deciding to respond in anger or rage or aggression, it shocks you into who you really are. And instead of you choosing to be rude, instead of you choosing to match that energy, you match it with a higher vibration, or you come at it with a higher vibration, with a higher frequency. And that's what I'm seeing that people are starting to do. They're starting to respond to things, not even respond to things, but they're starting to choose to respond in a way that is of higher alignment. And in that moment, you realize who you really are, who you're here to be, and then you allow yourself to move on with that. You move on with that energy. Forgive me for talking so fast, you guys. You guys know what happens when that happens to me. It's because my mind is like moving a mile a minute, and it's moving like 10,000 miles a minute, and then my mouth can't keep up, and so I start to stutter. You guys know that by now. If you don't, if you guys don't know that, go back on to the Magic of Eden YouTube channel. You guys will hear me say that every so often, or however often I needed to. Anyway, that's the energy. And also, it's this courage for you to stand up for yourself. It's this courage to say that even though I'm in a space where I'm trying to realign myself, even though I'm in a space where I'm trying my best to get things together, to do things in a way that is in alignment, I sometimes do get lost along the way. And that definitely is, it's valid. I get it, because we are not going to know the answer to everything. And that's the power of Uranus, because Uranus teaches us how to trust in our own inner voice, to trust in our intuition. Because when we do that, then we say that I'm listening to my innards. I don't know. That's so funny that it's coming out that way. I'm listening to my innards. I'm listening to what is going on within me, because I know that it's leading me somewhere. If I had to let everything else go and only choose what brought me joy, what would I let go? What would I let go of? But also keep in mind that Leo is not a, and I know that we're bouncing everywhere. Just bear with me, you guys. Leo is a sign that when it's in its shadow can be very selfish. However, when it's in its light, when it's integrated, actually, when it integrates both the shadow and the light aspect, right? Then what happens is that it says, I am selfish when I need to be, but I also know that my selfishness is beneficial to those that I love, to this world. So there are times where I need to be a bit more selfish and do what brings me joy, because it's going to benefit everyone in the long run. And that's what I'm going to be known for. There's a lot of legacies that are being cemented right now with your actions. Give me 1 second. Allow me to grab something really quick for you guys. I wanted to grab this oil really fast, and it's this Planetary Magic Intention Oil for the Sun. And working with this oil can absolutely help you work with that Leo energy, because Leo is ruled by the sun. So it's this Leo energy that allows you to tap into your inner fire, to your inner expression. You express your truth boldly, but you're also allowing yourself to not be swayed by anyone else's truth, but you're allowing yourself to just simply speak your truth, because that light, you are a beacon for humanity to remember itself. And that's what we're really all doing. We're all remembering what it's like to be whole. We're all remembering what it's like to be integrated. And with this being an emphasis on the sun, this is one of those energy where you just want to allow yourself to be seen. For some of you guys, and I'm getting so many channels right now, I'm getting a lot of downloads. For some of you guys, you're ready to be seen in the world. You're not really sure what to do. You're not really sure where to go. It's exactly. It's the truth. Sorry, plant. I'm sorry. It's the truth. Exactly. It's this ultimate truth. When you start speaking your truth about the things that you love to do, when you start speaking your truth about the things that bring you the most joy, it could be a multitude of things, right? It could be a multitude of things. And Spirit says, I want you to speak that truth. I love, for example, myself. I love my Ethereum. I love writing. I love poetry. I love divination. I love magic. I love ancestry. I love all of those things. And all of those things are infused in my work, because that is what I'm here to do. I'm here to help my soul tribe pace the path of remembrance by allowing me to tap into my divine and feminine intelligence to help the world, to help my soul tribe, to help the masses, and whatever else I'm meant to do in this life. Also, I feel like your divine feminine energy is being divinely supported by your divine masculine. It's where you integrate your divine femininity, your divine feminine energy, because the masculine was a bit too, it was a bit too overbearing and overly I don't want to say overly aggressive, but overbearing and kind of clouding that divine feminine energy. So now you're in a space where you're allowing your divine feminine to shine, and then your divine masculine gives it form, it gives it shape. We've been talking about the matriarch a lot recently on my YouTube channel, on our YouTube channel. We've been talking a lot about that. Speaking of which, interesting, we do have the King of Cups that is here as well. There we go. We have the King of Cups that's here. I can't really get a good angle. There we go. King of Cups is here. The Hangman in reverse is also here. Wow. You have this card here. You have this card here, which is a star. And you also do have Temperance. It's interesting the fact that we do have the star card here, which makes a lot of sense, because this is definitely bringing me to it's, of course it would bring me to Sirius, even though the sun is not here, but I also feel like this is basically where wishes are granted. Like, your wishes would 100% be granted. It also kind of feels like, what do you hope for? What do you silently wish for? When you are behind the scenes and you're doing things alone, when you're by yourself, what is it that you wish for the most? What is it? That's so beautiful. You have the 10 of Pentacles here. Like I said, we're talking about legacy. The cards are in alignment. So with the star card here, it's what exactly really do you hope and wish for? Spirit is calling you into deep meditation. If you are going to be working your magic at this time, absolutely, that's great. What Spirit is calling for some of y'all to do, though, is you want to work your magic by meditating. You want to work your magic by tuning in, by listening. Spirit is wanting you to listen, because Spirit is going to be giving you divine direction. That is what is needed right now. For some of you, I don't know why, but I'm feeling, I don't know what it is, but okay. So, real quick. So recently my son, one of my sons was like, hey mom, like, what do you watch? Like, are you gonna watch Charmed? And I was like, oh, well, I wasn't, but I mean, I was thinking about it for whatever reason. And he was like, I was like, why? Like, should we like watch it or whatever? There's some things that he can't watch, obviously, because he's too young. Like, he can't be present with that. But he's got this knack for like magic, and he's what is he, 10? Like, he really does, like, he likes magic. He's very highly intuitive. And so we have this really deep connection, right? He's Gemini sun, Pisces moon, Cancer rising. So we vibe we vibe so well, especially because we understand each other, right? So when he said that, I was like, you know, it's so interesting that you mentioned that, because I was thinking about watching it, but I didn't want to like overdo it. And not only that, I'm so busy, like I don't have time to like watch it. But we ended up sitting down and we watched like the first episode, and it almost kind of reminded me of how Mel and I think it was Maggie, like how, and this is, by the way, the new Charmed, the newer one. Not the old school Charm, not the original, not the OG. The OGs are the OGs. Respect to all the OGs. I'm talking about the newer one. So anyway, yeah, so it kind of reminded me how, like, when they ended up like losing like their mother, unfortunately, how that's when life started to take a huge turn, but then everything started to fall into alignment. I remember how when Macy, I think it was the first episode, I can't remember. I remember when Macy ended up like finding them, and then there was like this thunder and like lightning or something like that happened. That's what I'm talking about. It's this tragedy that happens for some of you, and then what ends up happening is you end up like finding your people, and then this thing, just like this boom, this eruption happens, or this thunder and lightning happens, and then it sparks it, and then the energy kind of needs to figure its way back into alignment. That is exactly what I'm seeing. But also, you're finding your soul tribe, you're finding your sisters, you're finding your brothers, you're finding your community. I feel that at the time of this full moon, some of y'all could be setting your intention for your soul tribe to see you, for your soul tribe to find you. But you yourself have to speak your truth in order for them to find you. It has to be authentic, it has to be honest. And when you do that, full card here, when you do that, that is when they'll start to say, okay, I can contribute to the cause, I can give to you because I'm in alignment with what you have. That's so interesting, because I was about to get ready to shuffle the deck and I saw the sun card. That is just in alignment. The sun card is up in reverse, but regardless of whether the sun card is in reverse or not, it really does feel like the spirit is saying is that I really want you to start to speak your truth. You guys are emerging your truth. Some of you have a blockage, And what the blockage is that you are not speaking your truth enough. You have to show up consistently when it comes to your truth. Honor your divine feminine. She will lead you to it. Like I said, we also do have the Three of Pentacles here. I don't feel like I need to pull any more cards. At least, Spirit, do you have any more cards for us, Source Mother? Okay, I guess you did. So with these last cards at Cancer, of course, I was just talking about Cancer. Wow. Okay. So basically you have a Death card here, the Fool card, Seven of Cups, the Chariot, Three of Pentacles, some reverse, the Knights of Wands is here as well, Temperance. I do feel like this is some type of what I'm seeing with this is like a calibration, right? It's where you're not just your intuition, but your emotions are in check. Your emotions are now you're in a space where you can proudly express yourself emotionally without falling, without breaking. And I feel like now Spirit is saying is that the reason why is because your truth, it's your truth. It's this emotional truth, this emotional revelation that I feel that some of you guys are having right now. It's where you start to take a pause, and it's where you sit and you tell the divine, this is what brings me the most fulfillment. This is what brings me the most joy. This is what brings me the most I want to be the embodiment of this. This is what I see for myself. But also, Spirit, what do you see for me? I don't want to prematurely move and do anything, but I'm listening. I am open. Also, I want you to protect yourself because, again, going back to the Lionsgate portal, portals, again, are entryways and anything can enter. It doesn't matter what it is. It can enter because all it is energy. It will manifest as anything, right? It can manifest as a way that it sees fit, right? Because it's just energy. I want you to protect yourself. I want you to protect your space. I want you to use your light to protect. You may want to work with white candles, or you may want to work with black candles, or yellow, green, whatever it may be. Some of you, you're being called to work with jade. Jade is the seer's protection stone. At least it is for me, because that's just what I vibe with. But in Mesoamerica, it was a stone used for protection, especially for those who practiced who facilitated rites and things like that. It was a stone for the seers. It was a stone for the priests, the priestesses, and whatever other names that they had. It may not have been priests or priestesses, but you know what I mean. It's the stone of the seer that allows them to be protected as they're navigating these unseen worlds, or as they're navigating the in-betweens, as they're navigating beyond the veil. And so what I feel like is that you yourself are navigating beyond the veil of this reality, figuring out what your life really is. They want you to go into meditation, because from there you will receive the vision. The Seven of Cups is coming up as the card of prophecy. You're going to end up weaving into this, weaving in and out of reality, but it almost kind of makes me feel like you're able to see beyond the veil. And with you being able to see beyond that veil, you start to see what the truth is. If I set my ego to the side for just a moment, if I set this aside, what would I end up understanding? What would I find? If I decided that I was not going to act out of ego, right? If I was going to put that to the side and I tune into my inner world, what would the divine tell me? What would I receive? What downloads would I receive? During the time of the Lionsgate portal and during the time of the Aquarius Full Moon, what I really want you to focus on is not only what brings you the most joy, but what your legacy is, what part of your life is changing, what part of your life is being broken down. And I want you to welcome in everything. I want you to welcome in repair. Like Spirit is saying, to welcome in repair. With the Hangman being in an upright position, again, I kind of just read things like as they are, but I'm just going to say it this way. The fact that the Hangman is coming up in reverse here, it's one of those things where you don't want to move prematurely. You also want to move in alignment, but also after this is all said and done, you are going to be required to make the leap, because some of you have been hung up on things. You've been hung up on stuff. And the thing is that you being hung up on this, or you being hesitant and you not wanting to move, is exactly the reason why you haven't been able to manifest things that you want to manifest, right? It takes action. Magic is one part of it. Magic is behind the scenes. Magic helps you with the unconscious, with the subconscious. Magic helps you in that arena. It's what helps you tune into your divine feminine energy. It's what helps you to embody that behind the scenes. It's what helps you walk the path, but it's the actions that you do, right? It's the actions that helps you solidify it. Your actions is your divine masculinity at play. Does that make sense? It's your divine masculinity that is out there. So what I do feel is that there is something that spirit is saying is, I want you to do. I want you to do this, because when you do this, you start to even everything out, especially with the Justice card being here. The fact that you do have the Knight of Wands, this is that bold and courageousness, but you're being moved. You're being, sorry, you guys, forgive me. I'm stuttering because there's so much energy coming through. With the Knight of Wands, it's the energy where you want to make sure that you're moving in alignment. You're wanting to make sure that you're pacing yourself. This is not the energy that says, I'm going to do it for the F of it, for the fuck of it. It's where you're doing it because this is the call. This is the call. You're being bold, you're being courageous, but at the same time, this time, what makes it different is the fact that you're allowing yourself to just be. This is the courage without the fear. This is you saying, I'm choosing love over fear. I choose love over fear. And that's what makes this full moon and this Lion Gates portal different for you. It's because you're choosing to move. Also, you're taking your time. Knight of Pentacles here. You have two knights. You have the Knight of Pentacles and you also have the Knight of Wands. The knights here with the Chariot card, this is a guaranteed success if you chose exactly what is the most authentic to you. You don't have to let go of everything else that you love. It will happen in divine timing. Trust in divine timing right now. Trust in what is happening in your life. Trust what is going on. And I want you to trust yourself in this process. I want you to trust in your voice. Trust in what you are doing. Trust in what you are building. Just trust yourself. Just trust yourself. Any messages, final messages, Spirit? Okay, we have 2 cards so far. Okay, so you have the Labyrinth and then you guys are finding your way out. This is your way out. Spirit is saying is that this is your way out. At the time of this, you also have the ring here as well. You're finding your way out. When you allow yourself to, I don't know why, but I'm hearing like look up. And it makes sense that I would hear that actually. I'm hearing to like look up, because when you look up, you'll start to see that you'll look and you'll tune into the cosmos and you'll see just how small you may feel here. But when you look up, you looking up is your way out. You have to look up. Looking up is your way out. Okay? Let me make sure that. Exactly. You have to look up. Also, some of you guys, you know who you need to cut off. You know who you need to cut off. You know what it is. Your ancestors have been telling you this. Your ancestors have been speaking to you. They've been letting you know what you need to do. They've been telling you. It's just a matter of you listening and you applying that knowledge and that wisdom. They've been giving you signs. They are wanting you to cut off some people, and it's okay that they do. Also with the fox here, what you're cutting out is, I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to be just real about it. You're cutting off the fuckery. Anyone who is in your space that is showing up as someone who's like, being that person that wants to destroy. For some of you, it's a mother figure. For some of you, it's I don't know why I just heard it as a mother figure. It's a mother figure. It's this divine feminine energy that poses as something. It could also, it's just like this toxic form of like femininity that you're cutting off. That's what you're getting rid of. It's this toxic form of femininity. It could be within yourself. It could be within someone else. Anything else, Spirit? Yep. You have the book here. Okay, you have the ring twice. You have the ring twice, as you can see. You have the ring twice. You have to be committed. What are you committing yourself to and why? Are you deciding, what are you deciding that you want to be committed to? And when you commit to that, go all in. go all the way in. Everything should be around what you see for yourself truly. Everything, what you could, I don't want to say what you should be, what you could be committed to right now is going to show up, and it's going to show face. Whatever it is that you're really meant to be in alignment with, you're about to find out. You're about to see it. If you were to go into meditation, you will see. You will see. Meditate. Pay attention to your dreams. I also feel here that what's going to be shown to you is your life's purpose. Life purpose is coming through. Life purpose is coming through. The fact that you do have here the magnifying glass and the book here, this is also one of those things where you really want to start to, they're wanting you to look into like a book or something like that. This is ancestral energy coming through strongly. You guys are wanting to look into something like old records. Like old records is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing like the word archives, like they're wanting you to look in some kind of archives as well. Oh, wow. Interesting. You have the family tree. You want to look up your ancestry. For some of you, you would be surprised as to where your ancestors are from. And I say that because, of course, this Alice here, someone's ancestor, they're wanting you to do some type of ancestor work. It could be genealogy. It could be, through reading, writing. Also, they're really wanting you to pay close attention to what you're reading and what you're doing. Because from the naked eye, it could look like something, but that does not mean that that's what it is. You want to really tune in and really hone in and pay attention to what you are doing. Read all of your contracts precisely. Make sure that what you're reading is accurate. Only take what you need. Cut out any energy that is not allowing you to be committed to. This is your way out, of course, with the cloud card here. Behind you is confusion. In front of you is commitment. When you allow yourself to look up and to detach from and cut out anything that causes confusion, and you will then start to see the pathway, the way out. It's so interesting because what I'm seeing is that the people who are in this labyrinth are essentially like they're in this maze's labyrinth. But the thing is that there are several entryways out. It looks as though they're trapped, but everyone's trying to do the best that they can. Yes, absolutely. But I'm getting a vision of like this smoke. Like I'm seeing like fog, like smoke. And with this smoke, there is like this parting of it. And then there's like the entryway, like that portal that is right there in the middle of what looks like a dead end. Spirit is saying that even though this is a dead end for you, you may feel that it's a dead end. It's not. This dead end is actually the entryway. The dead end is the entryway. I don't know why I keep hearing that, but the dead end is the entryway. The dead end is the entryway. Open yourself up to you receiving this entryway. You can open up portals with your mind. You can open up portals with your energy. You are a magnetic and energetic being. You are an energetic being with the power and the capacity to open up portals. You can do this. You are the portal in which the divine enters. You are the conduit. You are the vessel in which the divine expresses and experiences itself. Okay? Yes. Did I miss anything? Thank you so much, family. I love you so much. Thank you so much, Ty. Thank you for listening and tuning into this message. I also want to invite you to check out my, just real quick. Well, before I say that, I just want to say that I value you as a soul. I want to say that I love the fact that you're here with me, that you're here with us, that we're here in this community. For those of y'all that don't know this, I've actually been doing this work a lot longer than I've been on YouTube or social media. So even though you don't see me like a lot of videos that I have now, it doesn't mean that I'm new to the energy. It just means that I'm finally in a space where I'm allowing myself to show up more consistently on the internet. So it's different. I also wanted to say too that life has happened. Oh my God, I'm seeing lots of birds soaring over. I think something might have died nearby. Or like something's going on nearby. This bird activity. I'm probably going to go outside and have a look at that and see what I can pick up on. But anyway, of course I would do that. So basically, yes, I've been doing this work a lot longer than what it appears to be. I've actually, believe it or not, I know this sounds kind of crazy with me saying this, and this is also something that's coming through. Spirit is just like, I want you to keep going. Okay, real quick, before I exit this, I've been doing a lot of dream work and intuitive work since I was a child, actually, unknowingly. I've been consciously doing this work over 10 years now. But the thing is that when I was a child, I was always the gifted dreamer. I was always the gifted intuitive. I was always the one that saw beyond certain things. And I was the one who used her dreams to help their family, to give them reassurance and things of that nature. Not because I believe myself to be the chosen one, but because that's just what I was meant to do. Like, I was always meant to write. I was always meant to be a seer. Like, that's just what I was. I've been a seer since I was a child. I would have dreams, and in these dreams, I would tell not in the dreams, but after having the dreams, I would tell the people that, the dreams that I had, and it would actually help them. Not at that time, I didn't realize that that's what I was doing, but when I look back on it, that's exactly what I was doing. So some of you have these gifts. You've had these gifts since you were a child. That counts as your experience. I don't know why that's coming through. It could be confirmation for someone, but you've been doing this since a child. And that's the power of this Leo and that is the power of this Lionsgate portal. You've been doing this since you were a child. Your inner child gives you information that you need. Trust it. Inner child healing is also coming through for some of you guys as well. Thank you so much for tuning into this message. I hope that you got everything that you needed out of it. Thank you so much for tuning in. If y'all need anything from me, please feel free to visit me online over at thesayonanpath.org. This oil, this planetary magic intention oil for the sun, is absolutely available in the Ethereum. I'm going to be linking it down in the description. Well, actually, I'm going to link it in the comments because I love the comment section. I'm going to be linking this oil down in the comment section if you guys want to use it for your own magic and whatnot. If you want me to go into a video on how to use the planetary magic intention oil for the sun, let me know down in the comment section if you want to see a video on that, and I will prepare that, but just let me know. Also, I am a writer, so I want to invite you guys to check out my books that I have available. For one, this is not the first book that I wrote, but this is the first book that I wrote that I'm actually going to be redoing. Actually, I'm going to be completely changing. I'm going to be remastering this book, only because I just feel like it's time for me to do that. I'm going to be remastering it, probably changing up some pictures and stuff like that, but I'm definitely going to be changing the exterior and some of the contents. This is the first book. It's called Eden, Reclaiming Your Divinity Through Poetry and Self-Expression. I also do have here my second book, which is The Magic of Healing, which I love and adore. It's available in hardcover and also in paperback. This book is amazing. I actually included not only poetry but also spells and like rituals that you can use, but it's meant to serve as a poetry book. Of course, you can get these books signed from me on the website. And yes, I just wanted to show you guys that because I'm so proud of it. So proud of my work. So proud. Anyway, yeah, you guys can also follow along with me on Instagram over at thesayonanpath.org. You guys can, at thesayonanpath on Instagram. You can also follow along with me on Instagram at Magic of Eden. I love you guys. Take care, and I will catch you in my next video.